Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome back to the Tarot Genie, where you receive intuitive answers from the tarot to your burning questions about business, career, creativity, entrepreneurship, personal development, politics, and more. Today, we're going to learn from the tarot, how do you handle a crisis, a family crisis is the focus of today's reading. And the reason this is coming up is that, in all candor, I have been experiencing a personal family crisis for the past few months. And of course, the significator card for today, to represent how I really have been feeling, there's been tons of anxiety, tons of feeling angst, frustration, just not knowing exactly what to do, feeling kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And so this is the significator card, the Nine of Swords, which often relates to anxiety and insomnia, being unable to relax because one's thoughts are churning and churning. So that's exactly what's been going on for me quite frequently in the past few months. And so I thought that I obviously am not the only person who experiences a family crisis, and so I thought it would be helpful for viewers here to get some insights from the tarot about how to best handle this. What do you do when you have to experience this? Now, in the book I recommend, well, actually two books I recommend from my library I have with me today. First one, the title will belie what it actually is about, but it's called The Greatest Manifestation Principle in the World: The Missing Secret Behind the Law of Attraction That Will Enable You to Finally Manifest Your Desires. And this is by a woman, I believe, Carnelian Sage. And the reason I recommend this book is the first part is a little bit wordy in that she goes on and on about why the typical ways that the law of attraction is taught is not effective. But what's most important about her book, some key pages in here, is that essentially she says that whatever challenge you have, love, this radiating feeling of love and focus on love, is what provides the answer. It's what provides the solution. So check this book out for that reason. I read often a page or two of this book every day, just to remind myself of being love, staying in that state of love, because therein is where answers and solutions come about. And another book that I find very helpful, I think I've shown this before, The Songs of God, an interpretation of my favorite songs by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And what I like about this book is that he says the Psalms can basically help you through any type of life challenge. He says the Psalms represent the songs of the heart. Oh, and what I like most, he says, in the Psalms is a solution for every problem and an answer to every prayer of the heart. And he interprets the Psalms in a metaphysical way, a metaphorical way. And it's just a very beautiful approach to using the Psalms and using Scripture in a practical, powerful way. So those two, and I have to remind myself that I do actually read these books almost every day to help me through challenges. But I will have to admit, it's been quite stressful the past week or two especially. So I thought I'd do a reading on everyone's behalf to look at the situation, 3-card reading, looking at the situation, any insights we need about it, the recommended action, let me check the recommended action, and also the likely result if you take the recommended action. Let me make sure that I'm shuffling these cards correctly. Oh, and the song. See, the book, those are the books I would like to recommend. And then the song that I came across is called Life is What You Make It. Life is What You Make It by the band Talk Talk. So I will have a link to that music selection to underscore today's reading. So let's see what the tarot advises us, what intuitively comes to mind for the situation, the recommended action, and then the result as a result. And so, insights about the situation. The Four of Swords reversed. Well, this does seem appropriate because when you are facing a family crisis, it is very difficult to relax and to get still. And so this is it's saying, that you are not able to relax and get still. You're not able to tap into the power of spirit. That I often see this image when it's upright as presenting the notion that there's a time to relax, get still, connect with spirit, kind of take time apart to rest and to recuperate. But since we're asking about the situation, this is saying, well, this is exactly what's going on. We're unable, when we're facing a severe or serious family crisis, well, that's what a crisis is, it's serious, a family situation, serious family situation, it is exceedingly difficult to relax, to rest, to get this sleep you need every night. It is very difficult. So as always, as often, the tarot is mirroring what happens and how you feel. So we can see that we need to take some kind of action so that we can get back into a restful mode and be able to connect with spirit. That's what's missing when we're feeling in the midst of a crisis. We're just feeling that disconnect. And I have to say, that's how I was feeling, especially a lot this morning and part of the early afternoon, a lot of anxiety. I was feeling this exceedingly. The recommended action. This is interesting. The 9 of Cups. Recommended action, the 9 of Cups. The 9s often are like, what do you call it? They're almost the penultimate card in the suit, a particular suit. Now, the 9 of Cups often it's associated with the kind of the aspiration card. The aspiration has been achieved. So the recommended action, perhaps, I see now he does look kind of like he's self-satisfied. He's crossing his arms, and often I see crossing arms as resistance. But perhaps it is resisting the negativity in the situation and focusing on tapping into illumination. We see how this image is just very well illuminated, and tapping into the positive feelings. Because in a way, he is satisfied. He's feeling fulfilled. And what comes to mind right at this moment as I gaze at this image and interpret it is what my spiritual coach, Carol DeRay, with whom I spoke this week on this particular situation, advises. That not that you're going to bury your head in the sand and pretend that the situation doesn't exist, but you have to rise above it. You have to transcend and tap into your power. You've got to tap into your power, especially from the feeling dimension. You've got to feel that your own power to be able to rise above the situation, to come up with a solution. You've got to do that. You can't flail out. You cannot continue. You can't stay in this. I mean, this is a natural position to be in, obviously. But you can't allow yourself to stay in this position, because if you do, you won't be able to create a solution. You won't be able to prevail and power through. So I see the 9 of Cups as suggesting that you must honor and recognize your strengths from a very much a feeling center. You've got to feel that power and just have the faith that you're going to be able to prevail over it. And so that's the actions. Recommended action is to just really ground yourself. I mean, he's in this very solid position, sitting the way he's seated. It's kind of confident, and I feel, since we're asking the question here, dealing with a family crisis, is just not allowing it to go beyond a certain point. That's what's coming to my mind. And finally, the result. And this is the Page of Wands reversed. Now, when we have the Page of Wands upright, I associate this image with kind of that youthful, vibrant energy that's very focused on a particular passion or purpose, creativity arising out of a desert or out of a seemingly barren landscape, that there is a possibility there through creativity and passion and purpose. You can bring life, as reflected in the budding leaves on the wand. Now, given that this is reversed, and the result, we're talking about the result, what's the result of claiming your power, tapping into your feelings, and getting that illumination? I see this as that you will be able to, from deep within yourself, be able to find a creative solution, because that's what the wands is, finding something and bringing life out of the desert, bringing a solution to a situation. And so I see that, yes, indeed, but you're going to feel it inwardly first. I mean, that's the result. It's going to first, you're going to just have that inner realization that there is a solution, and to stick with that. And if you feel that, you are going to be able to transcend, get out of this situation of anxiety. I hope this reading has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And do remember that I offer private readings. You can find details about that on my website, thetarotgenie.com. And just remember, until next time, illumine your mind, inspire your life with the tarot.